All right, cricket fans, let's talk about the country that blessed the world with cricket, England. Specifically about England's Test history. They've been on top of the world, and they've also had, well, a couple of rough patches. The late 1990s were really rough for England's Test team. They were stuck at the bottom of the ICC Test rankings and struggling with inconsistent performances and really lacking direction. But things started to change when Duncan Fletcher became head coach in 1999. Fletcher brought a fresh outlook to the team and heavily emphasized fitness and discipline, which, honestly, was very much required. The early 2000s marked the beginning of a golden era for England's Test cricket. Under the leadership of captains like Nasser Hussain and Michael Vaughan, England began to build a pretty decent team. But if we're going to talk about turning points, then the appointment of Duncan Fletcher as coach in '99 was just what England needed at that time. Vaughan's shining moment came in 2005 during the legendary Ashes series against Australia. England played some of the most thrilling cricket in their history, winning the series 2-1. This victory wasn't just about regaining the Ashes after 18 years, but it was a statement that England had arrived at the top of the world of cricket. The period from 2009 to 2012 was England's golden age in Test cricket. The 2010 and 11 Ashes series was a defining moment in England's rise. England won 3-1 with wins in Adelaide, Melbourne, and Sydney. England's bowling attack, led by James Anderson and Stuart Broad, was some of the best in the world. Anderson's mastery of swing and Broad's ability to deliver match-winning spells were complemented by Graeme Swann, who provided a top-notch spin option. The batting lineup was just as strong. Alistair Cook, Jonathan Trott, Kevin Pietersen, and Ian Bell were the backbone of England's batting. Cook, in particular, was incredibly consistent, racking up runs with an unyielding determination. With Andrew Strauss and Andy Flower at the head, England became the #1 Test team in the world, a title they clinched in August of 2011 after a dominant series win over India. But things didn't stay perfect forever. After 2011, things started to go downhill. The 2013 and 14 Ashes was a disaster, with England getting whitewashed in Australia. They lost some of their best players like Strauss, Swann, and Pietersen, and it was hard to find replacements. There also were some fights going on within the team, which certainly didn't help. England got stuck kind of in a rut, relying on older players and making changes too often, and I guess also playing too defensively. You could say that their relentless aggression, which had served them well initially, had started to backfire. They often found themselves over-relying on pace, neglecting the spin option, and this is where they messed up, especially against teams playing on turning pitches. But luckily, they started to turn things around. Joe Root's captaincy gave them a new direction, and young stars like Pope and Archer showed a lot of promise. The 2019 Ashes was a close call, with Ben Stokes' unbelievable innings at Headingley saving the day. England is starting to play with more aggression now, and they're giving younger players a chance. With new players like Crawley and Sibley in the batting lineup, they're looking very strong. Not to forget, in 2022, Ben Stokes was named captain of the Test team. Now, several factors led to England's decline after 2012. The retirement of key players like Strauss and Graeme Swann, who were crucial to England's rise, left big gaps, and the team struggled to find suitable replacements, and really the lack of experience and leadership started to become very apparent. The decision to sack Kevin Pietersen, one of England's most talented batsmen, was another big factor. Pietersen's departure, following disputes with management and teammates, left a hole in the batting order that was never really filled. His absence was particularly felt in the 2013 and 14 Ashes. Another reason was the decline in form of some of England's key players. James Anderson and Stuart Broad, who had led England's bowling attack, began to show signs of wear. Playing in all three formats of the game took its toll, and their effectiveness in Test cricket started to fade. The transition to a new coaching regime under Peter Moores in 2014 didn't go as planned. Moores, who had coached England before with limited success, struggled to get the best out of his team. His tenure was full of inconsistent performances and a lack of clear direction. But wait, it's not just all clouds and sorrow. A new era dawned in 2022 when Brendon McCullum took over as head coach. McCullum, a former New Zealand captain known for his attacking approach, brought a revolutionary change to England's mindset. He brought forward a new philosophy, dubbed Bazball, built on aggression, fearless batting, and commitment to taking the game to the opposition. In case you don't know, Brendon McCullum's nickname is Baz. Now, the concept of Bazball is to stop with the defensiveness and start with the attacking, which is classic McCullum. The English team was encouraged to play with a relentless attacking intent, aiming for quick runs and putting pressure on the opposition bowlers. This aggressive style not only made fans cheer, but also yielded some pretty impressive results. England's performance against New Zealand in June of 2022 was a true embodiment of Bazball. They chased down a mammoth target of 299 runs in the second test, winning the match by 5 wickets. The Bazball era is all about bold decisions and a willingness to experiment. And here are some key tactical choices that have shaped England's recent Test cricket journey. Embracing the aggressive mindset. The shift toward an attacking style has revitalized England's batting. The team is no longer afraid to take risks, aiming to score runs at a rapid pace and put pressure on opposition bowlers. Rotation policy and player selection. England has implemented a rotation policy, giving opportunities to wider ranges of players and ensuring freshness within the team. While this approach has attracted criticism for its inconsistency, it's allowed the team to build depth and provide opportunities for promising talents. Emphasis on spin bowling. England has shown greater commitment to spin bowling, recognizing its importance, especially on turning pitches. This has led to the team using Jack Leach, a left-arm spinner who has become a crucial part of the bowling attack. Flexibility in batting order. England has experimented with their batting order, allowing players to bat in different positions, providing a level of flexibility and adaptability that's been very important in adjusting to various conditions. Now, while the current team is still searching for its next golden age, the past certainly reminds us that Englishmen need to work on finding balance and a plan, rather than just going at it. But one thing's for sure, English cricket will never be boring. Hey, much like this channel. Remember to subscribe, and we'll catch you next time with some great cricketing action.